We mentioned at the top of the show, Republican Congresswoman Harriet Hageman of Deep Red, Wyoming, faced a rowdy crowd during a town hall last night.
Yeah, but Wyoming's a very progressive state.
Yeah.
So
hard to bust people into it. Hard to bust people in. Democrats not organized enough to bust a lot of people into Wyoming. That's a pretty.
Brain and bust.
She's out in the middle. She's out in the middle of nowhere, Harriet.
they're not organized enough to get sandwich orders right at like a seven-person picnic.
Be nice to the Democrats.
So I mean, let alone bust people in from Berkeley or.
Okay. Last night, almost 500 constituents packed the room and aired their frustrations, with some of the loudest reaction coming when Hageman spoke about her support for Doge.
Dismantling Social Security. And even with reconciliation, we are not allowed to touch Social Security. The work that I have specifically been doing, I am on the Judiciary Committee and the Natural Resources Committee.
I worked for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, helping Wyoming family farmers deal with drought until I was fired a month ago in the mass firings, and despite only having the highest marks in my performance review. In a state where so many farmers rely on government programs for drought and disaster relief, Trump's plans to cut these programs and the people who administer them, coupled with the tariffs, will decimate Wyoming farms and rural communities. What are you doing about that?
I disagree. What kind of programs are out there. It's so bizarre to me how obsessed you are with federal government. But here's the thing. You guys are going to have a heart attack if you don't calm down. I'm sorry. Your hysteria is just really over the top.
How invalidating.
Willie,
don't do that.
Willie, for the uninitiated who don't know Wyoming politics, they weren't saying boo. They were saying, hey, That's an old baseball joke. Yeah, like Bruce. Except no, it wasn't Bruce. So I don't really follow politics that much. I think
bring it up to speed.
In my business, you don't really have to. No. But Wyoming, did that go for McGovern 72? Did it go? How liberal is Wyoming?
No state in the union, and there are 50 of them.
Yeah,
last check,
50
gave more of its vote as a percentage to Donald Trump than did Wyoming.
Really,
71% for Donald Trump, something around 70 last time around. Now, I said there's always an excuse.
Yeah.
So afterward, Congresswoman Hageman and her staff said, well, this was held in Laramie, which is a college town full of college kids and leftists and hippies.
All Democrats.
If you've ever been to the University of Wyoming, it's not. I wouldn't call it a hippie school necessarily.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place, great school.
There's only one congressional district in Wyoming. It's the whole state's one congressional district, and so that Harriet Hageman, just for those of you who don't remember, she's the woman who beat Liz Cheney in the primary and went on to take that seat. So there's a particular kind of poignance to.
Yeah. Wow.
When you're telling your voters to calm down,
and that they're hysterical.
You may not be with them.
And don't be hysterical.
You're calling your voters hysterical.
Yeah, good luck in a couple
Hey, everyone just sit down and shut up for a second. I have some things to say.
I don't agree.
But we're seeing this again and again.
What's going to happen to you?
Where these Republican congressmen and women are standing in a room across from their voters, as you did a million times, and taking the side of Elon Musk, saying, I support Doge, I support Elon Musk, over what you're telling me right now. It's extraordinary.
I'm telling you, there's nothing that your constituents like more than when you show independence. And you say, as I did, I disagree with Bill Clinton here, 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 and here. It's not good for you. I disagree with Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole and Republicans in all of these different places. I mean, if it's all about helping constituents, this is actually an easy call. And you actually can stand up to Elon Musk and lived to tell about it. The perfect example of it, politically, lived to tell about it. Perfect example was in the transition. Elon Musk came out, and I think Donald Trump did too, came out and told Republicans, you are going to vote for the CR or we're going to target you. Elon said this, we're going to destroy you and you will not be elected in Congress. Something along those lines. 38 voted no. And they said, basically, screw you. I know my constituents better than you know my constituents. I'm going to do what I need to do. I mean, that's the thing. If you have a relationship with your constituents, you can talk to them. You can go to those meetings and you can go, I agree with you. Veterans should not have, their VA benefits slashed. I agree with you. Veterans that have served in our country's uniform for 20 years should not be fired randomly by a billionaire immigrant from South Africa who doesn't seem to understand the most basic concepts of Madisonian democracy. You can say that and win.
Mr. John.
Yeah, that's the example of Republicans who have defied them so far. But it can't be overstated. There's real fear among Republicans on Capitol Hill of, it's always been, you don't want to cross Trump, you don't want to get the tweet taking you down or endorsing your primary opponent. But now it's also Musk because he has the money to bankroll it.
Got the checkbook.
That's just it's a new phenomenon. Some Republicans have told me this last week or so. An unlimited campaign checkbook to take you down. And there is fear of crossing them. And that is what we're seeing time and time again, where they're forced to defend the most unpopular cuts in deep red districts because they don't want to cross Elon.
John Heilman, though, the White House knows Elon's numbers are going down. I said to somebody close to the White House, he's a heat shield. I understand. He's a heat shield for the president. And inside the White House, they're saying, no.